Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for tuning in again. This is Aurora Divine, and I go by Divine Intuition here on YouTube. Today is going to be something completely different. I wanted to introduce my craft. I am an artist, however, I have a certain craft that is very special to me. And this goes back to me being a oracle. Not just an oracle, but a person who studies and works in the field of divination. And you could definitely say that tarot readers have a sense of divining energy. However, most of them just study certain things as far as like just remembering what the cards are and things of that nature, right? However, I do tarot readings, but this is going to be something a little more in depth. I do paintings, and I wanted to go ahead and introduce to one of my paintings that I did. Now, this is an actual energy reading. Okay, so here, I'll go ahead and I'll show it. It's a little hard to see, but I have some pictures. So this is a 5x7 canvas, and alone, just with this little canvas, is so much detail. It's not really the canvas that has to be big. It's so much detail within these canvases, right? And so we'll go through it because I'm really excited to start opening up the availability and time that I do have now, so that I can go ahead and work within my field of my craft. And this is what I do. I have actually came upon this craft being that I am an energy reader, I'm an oracle, and I tend to see beyond the veil. And I usually give thanks to Spirit all the time for things that I may have questions on. She provides me those answers. And so I do have some other paintings as well. So I can go ahead and show you one of my other paintings that I did. This is kind of bigger. This one was pretty dope. Trying to get out of the glare. There you go. This is a bigger canvas. So I actually love that this actually came out. And this I did maybe a few years ago. But you know, like I was saying, I want to start opening up my craft to others. What I end up doing is I end up tapping into a person's auric field, and I am able to go ahead and divine some of these energies. And what happens is that, you know how it's very similar to auric field, or I'm sorry, aura pictures, right? Where you have someone where they'll go ahead and take your picture and you can see your aura, right? Well, that doesn't necessarily tell you the in-depth of what your energy currently is at that moment. And I'm able to capture those energies within the paint. And what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll start highlighting the points of focus, right? And so we'll go ahead and we'll take a look, because I have before I started highlighting some of these and adding some more detail, But I also, tap into the energies that I am seeing. And so energies will come through as symbols. They'll come through as animals. They'll come through as, sometimes I see usually animals, but sometimes I'll see like jewelry. Sometimes I'll see letters. Sometimes I'll see numbers. And that is actually capturing more of the energy, and so that way we can go ahead and we can get more of a understanding of someone's energy at that particular moment. And so what it is their current energy readings, right? So this will go ahead and correspond to what your current energy is at this moment. And so I have a way of capturing that on canvas and on canvas and through paint. And my style is a fluid style, right? And so as you can see, this, I don't really use paint brushes. You can see that that's face right there. I don't use paint brushes. I find it best that my style is very fluid, and because of the fluidity, just like energy, it allows everything to come through much easier. And I love it. Once I started realizing that this was my craft, this was my gift, I started actually working more within my craft. This is what I call a triple god. So there's 3 different faces, one here, and then one here. And so I started kind of doing these without really noticing that this was actually a craft. I started doing it because I like painting, and I realized that Spirit was showing me and leading me to, hey, you have some sort of gift with painting. And once I started working with it, I started seeing, I'm able to see all of these different things going on here. Here's another one. Let me see if I can cut this down a little bit. All right. This is a really pretty one. Just different colors. This is what I call celestial waters. This is a marine animal. There's a snake right here. Right, so this is what would be within the waters, and this is an actual face. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying the best I can. And so it takes me some time to do these. However, they're absolutely gorgeous. I never know what I'm gonna see or what's gonna be within the energy. It takes me about a week. So once I do start getting orders, I just want everyone to understand that this is no quick type of reading. This is definitely a reading that you have to be patient for, because even with this one, and this one is my current one, this is a current reading of mine, it takes me a couple of days because, again, first off, it has to dry, right? So it definitely has to dry. But it takes me time to see, because there's so much detail and there's so much going on that I'm still finding things, right? And so with your own reading, I will go ahead and I will start to highlight some of the things that I see, right? I'll start to add more detail. I'll start to highlight certain things. I'll start to bring in some of those colors so that it captures the eye. And I realize that a lot of us, depending on how we see things, you know, I'm a very detailed oriented visual person, and so I can see shadows and I can see highlights very well. However, I realize that it helps when I highlight the actual energies of what I'm seeing. And so that takes time as well, because I have to wait for the actual painting, for the actual, you know, painting to dry, so then I can go ahead and highlight. So it does take some time, family, but the colors, when you see it, it's your own personal reading, you know, and you would always be able to go back to this, and you'd always be able to look back at what your energy looks like, you know. And we're going to get into this because there's so much in this reading. And I use myself as practice. As far as colors are concerned, the colors, it all just depends on what colors you want. If you want me to go ahead and blend up some colors, you know, that'd be fine. I can utilize different colors. If you have, you know, some colors you want to throw at me, I'll definitely find which ones contrast so that you have different types of colors that come through. In this one painting, I used about 8 different colors. 6 if you exclude white and black, right? Because those are contrast, but that's why I use them for contrast. And then I used gold, which I like to use a metal to kind of like solidify all of that, right? But metals are very highly conductive, and so what I'm actually utilizing is the colors and alchemy. A lot goes into one reading, family. A lot goes into one reading, and this is a 5x7. This is actually, it's pretty small if you think of it that way, but it's not small. It's nowhere near small as the energy and the magic that goes into these paintings, right? There's nothing small about that. I try not to do really big ones because, for one, I don't get the same effect as I do when I go ahead and I do something slightly bigger. It takes me longer to hone in on a bigger canvas, and I feel like I have so much more layers that I can work with on this type of canvas. So if you see, this canvas is this big, right? But I'm telling you, it's, when you look at it, you'll look at it forever, because you'll always come back to it. For my family who like to, this would keep your eyes occupied all day. And then for anyone who does recreationally smoke, I would definitely say that if you are recreationally smoking, you'll tap into even more things that possibly like I didn't see. But again, energy works and transforms itself into symbols, right? And so here, let's pull it up real quick. I already have it ready for the family, so I just wanted to pull it up. All right, so this is the before the highlights. So this is before the highlights, fam. I unfortunately can't go ahead and I cannot zoom in. And the lighting is not so well, so I do apologize. But this is what it looked like before, like right after it was done. So I try to take a picture real quick so that I can start to kind of get into what it is that I'm seeing. This is when I started adding some highlights, and I started adding more detail. So you can see the difference right away. And what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the energies that I see. So sometimes I'll highlight them in white if I see that black is not conducive to that energy, right? And it's a very intuitive process. So what I do is all intuition. Therefore, my name is Divine Intuition. So if I feel like white is going to make one thing stand out more, I will add white to it. However, if I think black make it stand out even more, I will add to that. I will also add to other colors. Like I'll add a blue, I'll add, a gold. I'll add whatever it is that I need to stand out and pop out to my audience, right? Or to the client itself. Again, because these are personalized to you. And what I do is I will go ahead and I'll give you a full energy reading report based off of the energies and some of the energies all of the energies that I see. I'll break down what is what, and I'll take individual pictures and I will go ahead and I will highlight it so that the client understands where this energy is coming from, how I see it, and how I'm reading the energy. Like I said, in this one painting alone, there's so much going on. We have a lot of earth energy. We have a lot of air energy. We have fire energy. And then we also have some darker energies. And this is, like I said, this is my current energy, right? So I wanted to use myself as an example. However, we also have a lot of transitional energy. There's a lot of energy in this reading alone that is based off of good luck, good fortune, and prosperity. Some of the ways that I go ahead and I read for a person is based off of obviously some of the things that I see. So first thing that I saw in this was a few different birds. Okay. Now, I didn't know what birds they were exactly. I just understood that I was looking at birds. And there are some times where I do see an energy, but I'm not able to really like hone in on it just yet. For example, on the right side corner, the right bottom corner, there is an energy there. It almost reminds me of some sort of another bird. I just haven't been able to tap into that yet. So like I said, sometimes it takes a little longer because there's so much going on. And other times, like I haven't even finished highlighting this one. But again, this is mine. So I can go ahead and not highlight it. I can go ahead and, leave it the way it is, which I actually like because I will be adding more highlights to it and more definition. However, I like the way that certain things stand out because it makes you focus more on that, right? And that's the reason why I do it. Not everyone has, how can I say, like, not everyone has an eye like me, and I can't expect everyone to have the same type of visual aspects that I see. And so, yes, so there are birds in here. I've counted at least 4 birds, but it could only identify 3, okay? And the first one that came to me was a pheasant. Now, pheasants do have a lot of great qualities. And that was one of the things that I wanted to, well, when I create a whole report, an energy report, I will go ahead and I will break these things down. So in mine, Spirit told me that it was a pheasant. Now, for me, okay, I ended up seeing something that I related to as sorry, 1 minute. Okay. I kept thinking that it was I kept thinking like it's something like a peacock, but it's not a peacock, and I couldn't get it. And so finally I heard pheasant, and I was like, pheasant? I was like, okay, let me look up pheasant. So we're going to look up a pheasant. So that way you guys can go ahead and see exactly what I'm speaking about. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to leave that there, but I'm going to share my screen real quick. And this is what I've been doing. So the pheasant in the picture is right in the middle toward the bottom of the painting, and it has like blue around its head, right? It kind of comes down. It looks like it could be a duck, but it's not a duck. Those spots are what you would consider like feathers that have a design, right? And so this is what a pheasant looks like. Family, this is what a pheasant looks like. Okay. Right here, this is what a pheasant looks like. And then if you see all of these spots, mind you, they look very similar to the feathers that are on my painting, right? And so I realized, oh my gosh, it is a pheasant. So we can go ahead and we can go ahead and identify one of them as a pheasant. Now, there's another neck toward the back, and it's like a 2-headed bird. However, when I see this, right, I know that it's something that's similar to the colors or the design of those feathers. And so I was looking up a turkey, family. Spirit told me turkey. Now, if you really look at a turkey, the feathers are very similar, right? But we're not looking at all of this. We're not looking in detail to like the neck portion of it, which if we really wanted, I could point that out as well. However, that's a blue turkey. there's some red and some blue, but you see how the feathers have this beautiful design? So Spirit told me turkey. And I said, oh, okay. I have 2 birds down. Now, there's a third bird that I was able to identify. And I just want to go back real quick. All right. The third bird is outlined in white. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And see if I can pull it up in my picture so that I can utilize that screen. Here, let's see. All right, this is better. So let me do it like this real quick. All right, family. This right here, this is a bird, okay? Now that I'm able to kind of like utilize this better, I'm a little excited now. This right here is a pheasant, right? The pheasant is holding something, by the way. That came out. I just highlighted the fact that it was holding something. Initially, I saw it as an earring. Funniest thing is that when I was tapping into the energy of the pheasant, which is right here, right here, the pheasant correlates with clairaudience and clairvoyance, right? And so what that means is the pheasant is associated to clear sight and clear hearing. Earring, right? So do we know that one of our gifts to hear ability, or a hearing ability, right, is clairaudience, which also means that you can hear frequencies at different, in different dimensions. You can hear tones. Everybody has had a point where their ear rings, right? And they kind of say like it's tinnitus. It's not. So this right here, ear ring, it symbolizes your ears ringing, meaning that it symbolizes clairaudience. And so that came through pretty awesomely. Now the other one that I was talking about, which is a turkey, is this turkey head right here. If we really wanted to go ahead and say this could be like what the turkey neck holds, or whatever the case may be, but when I saw this, I knew that it had something very similar to these beautiful feathers, and Spirit told me turkey. So when I looked up the energy of turkey has, and mind you, I knew that it was correlated because, for one, it's 1 and it's 2, right? To say that there are 2 birds that are correlated to Earth. A pheasant is more, is not a flying bird, right? It's more so like a, kind of like a flightless bird. Like it can fly, but not long distances. And it's the same with the turkey, right? And so this is when I realized, okay, these 2 are associated to the ground, right? They're associated to Earth. I did see in mine this little skull right here, right? Half white, half black. And sorry fam, 1 minute. What happened? Okay. So there is another energy right here. And I haven't figured this out yet. However, I do know that it is some sort of animal. So we can move up, right? Now, interestingly enough, from this angle, you guys can't probably tell, but this is a foot and this is a shoe. So I highlighted the shoe. From this lighting, which I do apologize, I was trying to do the best I can with lighting so that it could bring out some of these colors. But there's like a foot here, and it's putting on the shoe, right? Now, interestingly enough, it's putting on the shoe, but the foot comes and there's another bird here. So as I was looking up this bird, because I was trying to identify what this bird is, family. Mind you, this is a face, okay? This is the eye. This is the eyelashes. That's why I kind of curved them out. Sometimes I have to give it a little more detail so my family can see it, my audience, you know, or my client. And so this is all essence. This is all of your current energy, right? This is why it's behind. This is why it's behind you or within you, because this is your current energy. This is a transition energy that you are stepping into, right? There's a hat right here. So there's a hat, and this to me looks to be like a scarf maybe, or what I immediately thought of was a cape. Right underneath that, or right on top of that, this bluebird, will come back to this because I just want to show a little more of the detail. This is a turtle, right? Little turtle swimming. See the hand? Little. And now family, you got to remember that, and then there you go. You can see the bird a little more closer. But you got to remember that the picture does not give it any sort of, it doesn't give it any sort of credit. Like, this picture is not as vibrant as the actual painting, right? And I think that that's why I like this 5x7 canvas, because you can take it and you can actually hold it and you can look at it and you can put it back and you can come back to it and you can look at it and you can put it back. But it's personalized. Like, this would be your personal energy. I'm just transferring it onto something that you can see. So we have this bluebird here this is definitely a wing, and then this is the foot. This is the foot stepping into what is a shoe. Okay. And so we have this turtle here, and it's with a hat, right? So we have water energy. Turtles live very long lives, family. Now, again, I'm not going to go in through all of the symbolism because that would be my own personal reading, you know. However, I will go ahead and I will tap into all of these energies and what it associates to. And then I will go ahead and I will start linking them in association to the hat, the turtle, you know. And then me personally, the way that I see this is an actual being, right? Where the hat is kind of like brought all the way down. This would be the head portion, but then this could definitely be like a body, like a silhouette of a body. And this right here, or right here, right, could be two different aspects of one of a scarf and one of a cape. And they're very similar because they blow in the wind, right? So again, we have air energy right here. And so if we start to direct ourselves this way, one of the first things that I saw was this is a feminine energy. Now I did kind of do some highlights to showcase that. She is blowing out, right? Or exhaling. Or this is also could be a transition energy. Like I said, there's a lot of transition energy here. But this is a fire snail. Now, family, I said it was a fire snail because it reminds me of a fire snail. For example, let me go ahead and let me show you real quick why I say that. I made this a few years ago. Now, this right here is a masculine energy. This is fire. So this is my cube, right? I made this a few years ago, like I said, and this is my cosmic mother cube, right? So it has a lot of energies in this cube. However, I've saw that fire energy before, and this is, I would have to highlight it, but this is what we would consider a masculine energy because there's actually a masculine face, right? Now, I don't know if family you can see this, but there is a feminine face on here, and she's kind of like this right here, a face, and then this would be, it's hard to see because, like I said, it's easier if I highlight it for my clients. However, it's there. And then this is air, and there's an angel right there with wings, if you could see that. And then this is water, and water always resonates with silver, right? And you gotta understand that I use alchemy in everything that I do. So like I said, this is a lot of energies that I'm working with and I'm actually putting in, and what it does is it creates a picture. And so this is the beautiful water. It actually is very reminiscent of like cells, you know. And so yeah, so like I said, like I saw that there was this masculine energy with the fire, and I saw that before. So the first thing that I figured was that it was a fire and a snail in that painting. Let me go back to it real quick. Okay. Okay, cool. Perfect. And so it's right here, right? So when I actually started tapping into the fire snail, because this is what I would consider a snail, a fire snail. Whoo-wee, let me tell y'all. Family, no coincidences, okay? I said it was a fire snail. I didn't even know that that really existed, but there is such a thing as a fire snail. And it goes back, and doesn't this little snail look like it has like a little, I don't know, skeleton or like a darker type of like energy, right? Well, this fire snail is actually what we would consider a vampire snail, okay? Look it up. It's from Malaysia. They're literally called fire snails. They don't look like this, but it's the energy. Remember, we're speaking in terms of energy, okay? Now, sometimes there are things that I can identify, like Spirit will tell me this is a pheasant, this is a turkey. Spirit helped me with this one, which we will get into this one right now. Family, this is what we would consider the Zazu bird, right? The one from Lion King. Yes, I'm not playing. I literally figured that out. So this is called a red bill hornbill. And it looks very, very, very similar. Now, if we really look at it, it literally has a red bill. And I was trying to figure out, like, but it has blue, right? So this wasn't coincidence. And you see how thin these lines are, family? It does take some time to highlight this stuff, right? This is not easy. I'm doing it with, a script liner, a 0. This is the smallest. I could possibly find something smaller, but this is my brush that I'm outlining it with, but I don't use brushes initially for this process. I only use brushes to highlight. So this is truly something that comes out based off of your energy. I'm not sitting here and I'm not painting it with brushes at all. This is why it has such a fluidity about it. And so me personally, I feel like I know this energy, right? I personally feel like this is the energy of what we would call, you know, it could be Santa Muerte, it could be, you know, of a dead or transitional energy, right? Transitioning meaning like a death energy or something of that nature, which makes a lot of sense because you have the fire snail here, which is a vampiric or vampire snail, right? Now I noticed this today that this right here is considered a frog, right? To me, it looks like a frog, and it reminds me of those little red frogs that are actually poisonous. I think it's a boison poison frog, or it's something. It's one of those red frogs, and they are poisonous. So I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, it does look like that. Like an eye here and eye here. Again, this is energy, right? So if we move up here, I see like what would be considered like a dragon, right? All of this. But again, family, like I will highlight the things that I do see. And then if you end up seeing more, you know, some more things that I may not see, even more power to you, because then you know that you're starting to understand more of your own energy, right? And so this is what an energy reading would look like if you were to be interested to purchase one from me. Again, I would say that I need at least a week, at least 7 days, so that I haven't even varnished this painting. This painting is actually unvarnished. So the varnish does take time, and we're speaking in times of drying. We're speaking in times of while it's drying, I'm looking through and I'm gathering, you know, the energies, the information, I'm tapping into so that I can accurately go ahead and identify what is what. And so that's not a fast type of reading. And so this is more on like a memento that you are always able to, it's timeless. This is technically a timeless reading, right? And it's timeless because this doesn't just mean that these are the energies that you currently have. These are the energies that you have regardless. But you're just utilizing them at this moment. That's what this means. And so I want everyone to understand that these type of energies, these type of readings, they're timeless. So if I were to ever go ahead and I were to ever pinpoint something within your reading, know that that is part of your energy. You are just utilizing that energy at that moment, and that's why it's coming out, right? And so this is something that you would be able to keep forever. this is something that you would always be able to go back and like, it's almost like to remind yourself of who you are, you know. And I absolutely loved the way that this one came out, and I do feel like it came out really clear. So I wanted to go ahead and show the Zazu bird, which is right here, real quick. So let me pull it up so that we can get into it. So I think it's I said it's a red bill hornbill. Let's do that. But I'm looking for the blue one. So I'm gonna put blue, red, blue. Let me see. There it is. Alright, family. Wait until you guys see this. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in real quick. Right? I need you guys to look. Alright. Now, mind you, this is the closest of the birds, okay? So when I show you this, you guys are gonna freak. Because of the blue. I already knew that it was I'm looking for blue, right? And it's a red bill. This is the red bill part. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. And I get these like I get communication from my higher self, and so she'll go ahead and she'll show me certain things, or she'll direct it to me in a way where I'm able to find it. All right, let me see how it looks on your end. Okay, wait, let me. Okay, that's the Zazu bird. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can open it up. No, I can't, because, but that's it, right? I was actually in shock because the way that I found it was Zazu as the cartoon, and then when I looked it up in real life, I said, wow, this is really amazing. It looks very much so very similar. And so, like I said, if this were to come up, or, you know, because I have a lot of air energy, which means birds, right? But not all birds in there have flight, right? This one per se does, and this would associate with actually it associates with the sun, which is fire energy, which I thought was really interesting. However, this is more of like a guardian spirit, right? And so it's interesting that the guardian spirit is let me go back, is stepping into a shoe, right? Again, here we are. It's stepping into the shoe. So this is a guardian spirit. And so again, we understand that the universe, which is you, right, speaks in symbology. We speak in energy, but the universe basically breaks down that energy in symbolism. numbers, symbolism, colors, all that good stuff, right? And so this is what it will look like. So I just wanted to go ahead and introduce my craft. This is what is scrying, okay? And scrying goes back, this is a very old, very ancient type of gift, right? And with this gift is when I started realizing Spirit was directing me to honing in on my craft, honing in on my gift. And I honestly feel like this is something that a lot of people may have not really understood what scrying is. I don't know how important it is for people to learn more about themselves. This is where this comes into play. I absolutely feel like this is where this comes into play, because we are energy, right? And what happens is that in order to understand yourself, you have to understand the energies that you hold. And you might not know how to go about that, because these are what we call subtle energies, right? However, energy is it's not destroyed or killed, it's transferred, right? Can either be destroyed or killed, it's transferred. And so what is transferred or transformed, right? However, all I'm doing is transferring the energy into something that can go ahead and create a picture. It's nothing less than taking water, right? And this is why I use the fluid concept, fluid art concept. It's nothing less than water and holding memory, because memory holds water. It's the same thing, family. All I'm doing is just transferring the energies. And so when it comes time for you to go ahead and you want to go ahead and purchase a reading with me, you can go ahead and email me at auroradivine444@gmail.com. I will go ahead and reach back out to you. We can go ahead and speak on the colors, the pricing, how long it will take. It's all going to be same price unless you want something slightly bigger. And with that, I can do no bigger than an 8x8 canvas. Prices differ, of course, because I'll be using more paint, and that's going to be more, a little more longer than a week if I'm doing an 8x8 session. However, I do feel that the significance of a 5x7 is 5 elements, right? And you have 7 chakras. So that's literally you. It's an essence of you on top of you on top of you. And so, like I said, I'm working with alchemy, family. I'm alchemizing these things. Everything that I utilize, it's all an energy. It's all to tap into the energy so that I can transfer that energy from one space to another space. I'm pulling that energy through. On top of that, I do make this a whole ritual. So, I will go ahead and I'll pull a card. I'll pull 2 cards from 2 different decks that I have, and I'll see what is the energy that you are currently in, and it will show me through the cards, right? But then I'll have an even easier time to kind of understand what it is that is being transferred over. That will be within your reading. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and share my craft with the family. I hope you I hope you support. Again, you can go ahead and order and purchase your energy reading with me. You can email me at auroradivine444@gmail.com, family. And this is where I will go ahead and I will say peace to the family. Thank you again. Like, share, and subscribe, of course. And I look forward to hearing from you as far as your purchase. There is no limit to colors. You just let me know what are the colors. I can do different types of colors, and if you want me to personalize it and just do the colors, I'm able to do that as well. Again, it's all about intention. It's all about energy. So thank you again, family, for tuning in, and peace. Take care.